back to another video. Today I am going to bring you a hip opening Yin Yoga practice. We're going to be using a bolster. If you don't have that at home, then use a couple of pillows. We've got a blanket and then we've also got 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, then 2 big books will do. When you're ready, grab those, meet me on the mat. Today we'll start in a reclined butterfly position, bringing your bolster or 2 pillows to the base of the spine behind you. You can use your blocks or 2 books underneath the legs, just to bring in a bit of support. Letting the soles of the feet come together, let the knees drop out to the side, opening out the hips. When you're ready, shimmying your way down onto the bolster or your pillows, opening out the heart, letting the head drop back. You can take a pillow or blanket underneath the head if you feel like you need some extra support here. Once you feel fully supported, comfortable and rested, we'll take the left palm to the heart center and the right palm to the belly. Bring the awareness to the breath. How does it feel in the body today? What part of the body rises and falls as you inhale and exhale? With your next inhale, send the breath all the way down into the belly, inflating the belly like a balloon. Then taking your breath up into the ribs, the diaphragm. Then moving all the way up into the chest, inflating as much as you can. Then when you are ready to exhale, exhale out through the chest, the ribs, and the belly. At the bottom of the exhale, take that deep breath in, inflate the belly, the ribs up into the chest. Exhale out chest, ribs, and belly. Now take this full yogic breath in your own time now, finding your own rhythm, your own cycle. Maybe seeing if you can take each breath in and out deeper and longer than the one before. We'll take one more full round here. No rush to complete it. Like I said before, deepening it as much as you possibly can. Then once you have completed your full round of breath, release the palms from the chest and the belly, let them fall beside the body. Come back to your natural rhythm of breath. And take a moment to observe how you feel now. Has anything shifted within you? Then when you are ready, take the hands just underneath the thighs, Starting to close the legs up like a little book, bringing the soles of the feet down to your mat. Take the feet out to the sides. Let the knees drop into one another. You can stay in stillness or gently take the knees from side to side, creating a windshield wiper motion. And when you're ready, drop the knees over to the left side of the mat. Come to the side of the body and use the palms to press yourself up. We'll get ourselves ready for the next pose of today's practice. Then take your bolster to one side toward the top of the mat as you may need it for this next pose. Unravel your blanket so we can provide a little bit of padding for the knees. This will also prevent the knees from sliding out to the sides. When you're ready, we'll come up onto the hands and the knees. Here you have the option to bring your bolster in for support, taking it just out in front of you. Or if you feel nice and open in the hips, then you can take that bolster away from you, coming into the pose without it. We will stack the hips directly on top of the knees here and slowly start to slide the knees out to the sides, so the knees are still in line with the hips. You can take the full frog variation where you bring the ankle in line with the knee, or you can take the tadpole variation where you squeeze those heels in towards the glutes, coming into more of a wide-legged child's pose. Once you've found a nice comfortable position within the legs, the knees and the hips, then you can shimmy yourself down onto your bolster, your pillows, or onto your mat, depending on your flexibility here. Now, this is quite an uncomfortable position for a lot of people. There's some strong sensation here. So take this time to wriggle to get yourself comfortable, then find your stillness. Know that in Yin Yoga, we look for our edge within the pose, not our depth. So make sure you're not forcing yourself into a stretch that you won't be able to hold for a long period of time. Find a nice comfortable position where you're feeling the sensation, but you're not taking it too far. And whenever you feel like you would like to go deeper, then know that you can take that option. However, if you feel like you're fidgeting, you can't focus on the breath, then maybe it might be a better idea to slightly modify this stretch. As we spend more time in this pose, you may find that the deeper you get, the more sensation the pose brings. For some, this might be completely relaxing, and you enjoy this sensation of slipping deeper into the hips and into the inner thighs. However, for those of you who feel like this is quite intense, know that the breath is a great tool for these sorts of poses, these deep hip releases. So envision your breath, your exhale going down into the area where you're feeling the most sensation, whether it's in the inner thighs, into the hips. Know that this will help you, this will guide you through the pose. Let's take 2 more deep rounds of breath here. No rush to complete these cycles. Try to keep your yin energy. Then once you've completed your second round of breath, you can start to press into the palms to lift yourself off the mat or off your bolster. We'll slowly start to bring the legs in together. You might need the assist of the hands. We'll sink the hips down to the heels, coming into a child's pose, reaching forwards, or taking the arms back behind you. Making sure the knees are squeezed in, they're coming together to touch, to create this counter action. And know that if you'd like to take any other wiggles or motions or shapes to counteract the pose we've just done, please feel free to do that. And once you feel like you've fully counteracted, we'll make our way out of our child's pose or any other shape that you've taken. We'll come to a seat on the sit bone, swinging the legs to come round in front of you. Now here I'm going to fold up my blanket to take underneath the sit bones to create a bit of elevation for my hips to help me in this pose. You can do this, however, if you feel like the hips are feeling open today, then you might not feel like you need to take it. Now first of all, we're going to come to half shoelace, crossing the right leg over the left, letting the knees cross, and that's right foot to completely relax. You also have the option to take full shoelace, bending in that left leg, that bottom leg, hugging the left heel in toward the right glute. Do your best to stack the knees here. If you can't, then you can take a cross-legged position, your easy pose. Now we will take a fold in this pose. You can do what I like to call the unicorn, where you bring your bolster or your pillows out in front of you, taking it at an angle, dropping the forehead in. You can also take the bolster or your pillows to one side if this feels more comfortable to you. You don't need the bolster or your pillows if you feel like you're quite open today. So just find your nice comfortable stretch, your nice happy medium here. So like I always say when we come into each position, make sure you release any fidgets, any wriggles that are coming up into the body. And then find your stillness, find your breath. Slowing everything down, closing off the eyes, shutting out all distractions around you. Now know that you can come to that half shoelace variation at any point if this feels too intense for you. When you have that bottom leg extended out in front of you, you will be working into the hamstring as well. However, if you are in full shoelace, you will be working into the hip sockets and in toward the glutes. Just a few more rounds of breath here. Slowly, when you're ready, with no rush whatsoever, start to come out of your shape, lifting your head from your bolster, taking your props to one side. Slowly unravel the legs, using the hands to help you here. And then you can take a quick moment in between sides to counteract windshield wiper motion, shaking out the legs, straightening them out if you need that as well. Taking this pose on the other side, finding half shoelace first, seeing how you feel here, crossing that left leg over the right this time. Now decide if you'd like to take it even deeper, by bending into that right knee and hugging the right heel in toward that left glute. Taking your props, your bolster, your pillows in a nice comfortable position, and then finding your stillness on this side. As we've spent a few rounds of breath here, start to acknowledge how you feel on this side compared to the first. Is this side a little bit more challenging? Is there any retention, any resistance here? Maybe this side feels a lot more open, feels a lot more relaxed and settled. When we work with different sides of the body, we're working with different flexibilities. And it's always good to check in with that, to acknowledge how we're actually feeling, and to not force ourselves into the same pose that we did on the first side. Really listening, modifying or amplifying, depending on your flexibility. When you're ready, we'll slowly make our way out of the shape, trying to keep that yin-like energy. Again, no rush on this side. Taking your props to one side, unraveling the legs. Use the hands to assist you. Taking that counter pose, that windshield wiper motion, maybe a quick butterfly, maybe stretching the legs out in front of you, taking a forward fold. And then when you're ready, we'll make our way into our final pose of the practice. Our seated, wide-legged forward fold. Opening the legs out nice and wide to a comfortable position where it doesn't feel too strenuous. Bending into the knees if you need it, if the hamstrings feel tight. Now, I have my bolster out in front of me. You can use your pillows. Here is a great opportunity to take that unicorn, taking your bolster at an angle. Or maybe you want to lie your bolster down flat. Finding your fold, finding your nice happy medium, your Goldilocks pose. This pose opens out the inner thighs, the hips, the backs of the kneecaps, and opens out the glutes. Slightly working into the hamstrings as well. So like I said before, if this feels too intense, bring a bend into the knees, maybe taking some blocks underneath for support. And remember to come back to the breath whenever you feel like this pose is getting too intense. Maybe the mind's getting distracted, you're wandering off. At any point, know that you can exhale out, take that deep sigh to release out any tension, anything that you are holding on to that might not be serving you today. So take this moment to fully let go, to fully release. Surrender to the stretch. Allow gravity to do its work. Feel completely supported and relaxed. And Take 2 more cycles of breath, breathing all the way down into the belly, and exhale out completely. 1 more just like that. Breathe it in, and breathing out, let go. Once you've completed that second round, start to make your way up out of the shape, using the hands to press yourself up, taking your props to one side, slowly closing off the legs when you are ready, using the hands to help you. Take a bend into the knees, hug them into the chest, plant the soles of the feet, wrap the arms around the shins, coming to cosmic egg, giving yourself the tightest squeeze, the tightest hug. Take a nice deep breath in, deep breath out, release this pose. Now, as we come to the end of the practice, you can find yourself in a comfortable seat or in a laying position to take a more traditional Shavasana. Closing down the eyes, softening the eyelids, the cheeks, unclenching the jaw. Taking this moment to deepen your breath, to fully relax and surrender. Stay here for as long as you need. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Thank you so much for stepping on the mat and joining me today. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.